The woman gently lifts the file. The blacked-out document hid key data about the rocket's trajectory, so she bravely climbed the ladder and began to calculate the formula for the rocket's trajectory. But just as she unraveled the mysteries of the universe, her body was desperate to find a restroom. But the restrooms in the whole building are for whites only. She could only run 1.8 kilometers in search of a black-only restroom. Calculations of the rocket's trajectory caused an outcry. The correct answer was right in front of her. When Catherine rushed back to the office, a sudden interrogation awaited her. The director suspected that she might be a Soviet spy because the key information had been blacked out. Even a genius could not unravel the mystery in a tense atmosphere. Catherine spoke out. It was only through the light that she was able to see this discovery shifted the superintendent's attitude. He ordered a halt to the defacement of the data and opened up the precious classified information to Catherine. When the director came to the office, the woman was not there. It turns out that she ran outside to a special bathroom for black people. It was raining heavily, and when she returned, the woman expressed her complaints to the director. Catherine's accusations were loud and clear. All the white people in the room were speechless. She didn't expect to stay here, so she packed up her things and left with dignity. Surprisingly, the superintendent decisively tore the label off the pot. Then he picked up the crowbar in full view of the crowd, smashed the plaque "Black People Only Restroom," and announced there would be no more racial distinctions at NASA. But it was this underappreciated black woman who made great contributions to the field of aeronautics. Catherine showed a remarkable talent for math at an early age. Children her age were still struggling to master arithmetic. She was already writing complex math equations with ease. Her teachers were struck by her talent, immediately advised her parents to send her to a top school to further her education. Catherine lived up to her expectations. She finished college at the age of 18. But her life wasn't all smooth sailing. The failure of her marriage left her to raise 3 children alone. It was her exceptional computational skills that landed her a valuable job at NASA. She worked in a tiny basement. In such an environment, Catherine's talents seemed to be buried until a female executive arrived who turned Catherine's life around. In fact, she was reluctant to come here because a few days ago, the Soviet Union successfully launched a rocket. It was a move that made the U.S. sense a crisis. They immediately purchased a batch of IBM's new calculators and asked the space agency to push forward the development of the rocket as fast as possible. But before the equipment could arrive, they desperately needed someone who could analyze geometry in the days of segregation. No one in the building could solve geometry puzzles, so the top brass at NASA, they had to look to the West Side, where the computational team was made up of black women. The executives asked Rossi, please provide someone who knew geometry as soon as possible. Rossi highly recommended her sister Catherine when the executive left with obvious dislike. Rossi immediately went after him. She inquired if her application for the position had been approved since the last executive left due to illness. Rosie had been running the team for a year.